She screamed for help, but no one came. I remember that night as if it were yesterday. The screams tore through the quiet of our little village like the cry of a lost soul. I was only 14 then, sitting outside Mama's hut, pounding yam for supper. It was Amina. I could tell from her voice, it was sharp, urgent, and filled with a pain I couldn't understand at the time. "Help me. Please," she wailed, her voice cracking. I dropped the pestle and ran toward the sound. I knew where she was. Her hut was the last one on the dusty road, right before the fields stretched out to meet the horizon. Others heard her too, but they didn't move. They stayed inside their homes, closing doors, shutting windows. "It's not our business," I heard someone mutter from behind a curtain. When I got to Amina's hut, the sight froze me in place. She was on the ground, clutching her swollen belly, her face drenched in sweat and tears. She was all alone. "Amina," I whispered, kneeling beside her. She grabbed my arm with a strength that shocked me. "The baby. It's coming," she gasped. I looked around, desperate. Where was everyone? Her husband had left her months ago, whispering to the elders about bad luck when Amina's first child was stillborn. Her family lived in another village, and they'd stopped visiting when the gossip started about Amina being cursed. "Stay here. I'll get help," I yelled, but she held on tighter. "No one will come," she said through clenched teeth. And she was right. I ran back home, shouting for Mama. She came quickly, tying her wrapper tighter as she walked briskly toward Amina's hut. "Where is everyone? Why won't they help her?" I asked, confused and angry. Mama didn't answer. She just shook her head and muttered, "People's hearts have grown cold." When we got back, Amina was worse. The baby wasn't coming easily. Mama sent me to fetch water, clean cloth, and a sharp knife. I walked quickly, my hands trembling. I'd never seen someone in so much pain. Hours passed. Mama did everything she could, whispering prayers under her breath and encouraging Amina to push. The baby's cry finally broke through the night, weak but alive. Amina collapsed, her chest rising and falling as she tried to catch her breath. But her relief didn't last long. Blood kept pouring from her, too much of it. I could see Mama's face change, fear and helplessness. "We need to get her to the clinic," I said, panicking. "The clinic is too far," Mama replied, her voice heavy. I ran outside, screaming for help. "Please. She's dying. Someone, help us." The doors stayed shut. The windows stayed closed. Amina died before the sun came up. Her baby survived, a little girl with Amina's eyes. Mama and I wrapped Amina in cloth and buried her the next day. No one came to the burial, not even the village elders. For days, I couldn't stop thinking about how everyone turned away from her. They all whispered about tradition and curses, but where was the compassion? Where was the humanity? Mama said it best when she told me, "A community is nothing without its heart." When we stop helping each other, we lose who we are. Amina's story stays with me, even now. I think about her baby girl, who Mama and I raised as our own. We named her Teyo, which means joy. She's grown into a strong woman, full of life and laughter. But every time I see her, I remember her mother, and how we let her down. The moral of Amina's story is simple: a community is responsible for its people. Fear and superstition shouldn't stop us from helping those in need. Because one day, it could be us crying for help, and no one will come.